the amazing cast of The Dragon Prince. We got 7 of them, so let's get started. First up, from the dangers of online dating, unspeakable, it is Moon Elf Rayla. Please give it up for Paula Burrows, everybody. Hey, Paula.
Hi. Thanks for having me.
Joining us. From League of Legends, Sausage Party, and My Little Pony, the evil Viren. Let's hear it for Jason Simpson.
Hi.
Nice. You have a rolling desk chair, don't you, Jason?
It wasn't as powerful as I thought it would be. Hey, everybody.
So powerful, so powerful. Next up, from the Lego movies, DC's Legends of Tomorrow, let's bring out Soren, everybody. Jesse Inocalla.
There we go.
What's up, Jesse? Thanks for being
Hello.
here. So good to have you. Next up, also from My Little Pony, from the Lego movies, playing the part of Claudia on The Dragon Prince. Let's hear it for Racquel Belmonte.
Oh, wow. Hi.
Hello, Racquel. Thank you for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, from the television series Siren and Godzilla, the late, oh, no, I guess I just spoiled it. The maybe late King Arrow. Let's hear it for Luc Roderique. Woo!
Oh my God, that whole time off stage, I was just trying not to burp. Hey, what's up, everybody?
Yeah.
What's up, Luke? What's up? From Iron Man, Armored Adventures, and The Hollow, also on Netflix, playing the part of Gren. Let's hear it for Adrian Petriw.
Hi. I totally didn't even see you guys there.
Strawberries.
This is crazy.
And
that was adorable.
From Little Battlers Experience, the part of Crowmaster. Let's hear it for Cole Howard. Oh.
Okay.
There we go.
All right, that was the exact opposite of my entrance.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't see you guys there.
Jason, was that what you were looking for? Jason, that's what you were actually looking for, wasn't it?
Something a little more dramatic like that, yeah.
Yeah, Cole nailed it. Jason failed.
Oh, my God. Thank you all so much for being here. I said to you beforehand, this is our latest night panel so far. So we are ready to get down and dirty with this amazing series on Netflix. Thank you so much. First off, congratulations. 3 super successful, super popular seasons. Not fingers crossed. We know a season 4 is coming. I think we'll talk about that a little bit more at the end, in terms of where we hope it's going, when we could possibly see it. But just first, a quick shout out to y'all. Congratulations on the amazing series. What a groundbreaking take on the very popular fantasy series. So again, thank you all for lending us your voice talents for this. I think groundbreaking series in terms of the things that they've been doing. Let's start. There are a ton of fan questions already out there. Ton of fan interactions. There's people watching from around the world on Twitch, Facebook, YouTube. I want to start with a question from @CassTheFox on Twitter, because I think it's a fun place to start. How long have you been voice acting in a professional sense, and what are your favorite voices to do? So before we get into maybe your answer is your character on The Dragon Prince, but I'd love to hear a little bit about your start as voice actors and then how that kind of transitioned into your characters on Dragon Prince, and maybe what your favorite style of characters are to do. Whoever wants to kick it off. This is my favorite part where we all try to jump in at once.
I will begin.
Yeah.
Sure. I started voice acting about, it's been a long time, about 18 years ago. But I started in ads and commercials and did my first cartoon in, I guess it was about 2007. And that was the a straight-to-DVD Marvel cartoon called Next Avengers, where I voiced Hawkeye, and then that led to, shortly after that, doing Iron Man. So that was my entrance into cartoon land. And what was the other part of the question? Was it how it...
Just either like how it led to, your character, your casting and character in The Dragon Prince, or just, your favorite types of voices to do, specifically from Cast the Fox.
Yeah. Specific to types of characters I love to do. I play a lot of sort of guy next door kind of heroes, but I really like to play the dastardly villain. I'll say that. No. Yeah, somebody else get in there.
I started about 20 years. No, sit down.
You two should fight.
I started about 20 years ago. Well, 20 years ago, and I too started in commercial work. Did a lot of TV and radio commercials. Did my first animated gig in a straight-to-video movie called Arc. And then I didn't have anything for a couple of years. So 2004, I then started into, I believe it was Inuyasha. And then the ball just kind of started rolling for me through those years and moved into a lot of video game work. And my favorite kind of stuff is like Adrian, I actually, doing all my commercial stuff, I became the guy next door, just a happy, higher range sort of friendly guy. And I was really itching to get into deep, monstrous and animation and video game really opened that door for me. So those are my favorites. Big, powerful, nasty, guttural, messy kind of voices.
Very cool.
Speaking
Jason,
of which,
okay,
Racquel.
Listen. You know what, Mike? I'd love to go next, actually.
Go for it, Racquel. I think for the next 6, we should always just cut off Jesse and then make sure he goes last.
Would you please? I think that would be wonderful for me. What a dream.
What a dream. What a time to be alive. Listen, my first, when did I start? Okay. I want to say this will be my 15th year doing voice acting.
Awesome.
It's been a while, but started off same thing, doing commercials, and then here we go. Here we are. My favorite characters, I'm torn between 2. I love doing little boy voices. Those are my favorite. I do them even when I'm not acting. No one likes it, but that's my favorite. And I love a good like meaty mafia Sopranos accent. That gets me.
A meaty mafia soprano?
Oh no, Sopranos. Oh, that would be good. Meaty mafia soprano. I'm gonna start practicing that.
You're saying this because you've been binging The Sopranos?
Yes. I know nothing else. Oh.
Claudia,
I'm done. I'm done.
I don't know Claudia's illegal.
Jason,
Yeah,
okay,
okay.
right.
Cut off
Go
Jesse
ahead.
now.
Yeah, cut off Jesse. Cut off Jesse, please.
Our apologies to Matt Damon.
I have to move forward. So I've been at this probably professionally for 10-ish years, maybe a little less, maybe a little more. I lose track of time. It's a non-existent concept anymore. My very first gig was a television program called Yoo-Hoo and Friends, which was at the time bought by the guys who did it was rewritten by the guy who was one of the head writers on Fairly Odd Parents and was being showrun by the guy who did Cow and Chicken. So it was this Korean cartoon with these little animals who went on adventures, and they said, let's make it funny. So I got hired as the utility guy on that. So I fixed pipes and I did a lot of flooring. But for those not in the know, that just means I was the guy that got all the voices that no one else was doing. So I ended up with maybe 25 credits off of that. And then my next thing was a Pirates of the Caribbean video game. And I tend to book a lot of blonde dummies. One credit I've had recently was the lead character on this mobile game, Lords Mobile, and he's also a blonde dummy with a sword.
And Jesse's actually voicing me right now.
It's true. Oh. It's true. Anytime Adrian's mouth moves, that's just me dubbing him in on my second screen over here.
Blonde dummy.
This is a spinoff we didn't think we needed, but we definitely want now.
Oh, strawberries.
It's Soren's puppet routine.
I got it.
Sorry?
I just got the strawberries.
Focus. Focus.
Deep cut Greg.
Of course it's gone off the rails. Voices I like to do. I love playing comic relief. I tend to do it a fair bit. Sure. But I also cherish any opportunity to really play with my voice. I did Dead Rising 4 where I did a bunch of zombies on it, and that was so much fun. Any opportunity to just toy around with stuff I don't normally do, gangsters or zombies or monsters or that sort of thing is always so much fun. Paula, you were saying.
Strawberry boy was what I was. Is it my turn? So what's happening? Okay.
No rules, Paula. We can go for it.
All right. So
Thunderdome rules.
I started voice acting probably 5 years ago, and like everyone else, it was with commercial. I sent in my first ever voiceover animation audition for The Dragon Prince, and that was my first animated role, was Rayla, and so far my only animated role. So still working to figure out what voices I love to do, but I think awkward characters are what I like.
I mean, my gosh, yeah, I know we saw some love from the rest of the cast, but congratulations. That's amazing to come in your first voice acting job ever, and not only to do such a strong character, but completely different accent and work with these amazing individuals. Yeah, shout out to Paula. Congratulations. Cool. Luke and Cole, yeah, tell us about this, and then we'll definitely...
Sure. I'll jump in. I have been voice acting for about 10, 11 years now, probably. My first audition was for an animated feature, which I actually booked, which was amazing. And it was for like the toy of the season. There were these like ninja hamsters called Zuzu Pets, and they were all just really badass. So I was playing like this badass kind of like 70s blaxploitation demolitions expert hamster, which was just like the perfect like intro to animation. And that's what I love to do, more so than commercials or anything. Animation is where it's at. I love characters with gravitas and a little bellows to their voice. But honestly, like any show where the creators really let you explore. So often, it sometimes happens on shows, they really want you to be super specific with the voice. But that was one of the things I really loved about working on Dragon Prince, was the creators just really wanted us to get into the characters, explore the characters, and make them our own. And those are always the ones I enjoyed doing the most.
Awesome.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I mean, basically take everybody's stories, and then that's basically me. I did the same thing. That's not entirely true, actually. I started in theatre, something of a thespian growing up. So I started in theatre, and then I decided that standing behind microphones is fun. Maybe not more fun, but I really love it. And I don't know. I get cast for a lot of the stuff I audition for a lot of the stuff that Adrian books. So it's like most of that stuff. I'd love to audition for a lot of the stuff that Jason does. Can't do that. Mostly I just. But I will say my favorite voice, at least right now, because I've been watching The Crown, has just been walking around and talking to my cat like this, asking him to bring the car around and this and that and the other thing. Because I'm going insane.
people Cole. Yeah. Well done, Cole. Cole, people are equally confused in the feed of what if this accent is real or not. So I like it. Like they put it on. Also, a lot of love for Zuzu Pets. A lot of love for Zuzu Pets out there so far.
I was in Zuzu Pets with you. I have that script. I was in Zuzu Pets.
I never even saw it.
I know. Me either.
That's where we first met. That's right. 10 years ago or something. Yeah.
I literally just dug the script out. I was like, why do I have this thing? This will make my life more flammable.
Our hamster days.
A lot of love for you all. There's just a lot of great comments about folks. The people are in tears, just laughing, but also just emoting because of how awesome you all seem to be, like friend-wise and pop. Yeah. What were you gonna say?
Mike, I have a question. Has anyone said anything about my farmer's tan? I'm actually a little upset that no one here has brought it up.
No one. There's a lot of cinnamon roll action going on right now.
Okay, wow. Cool. Awesome. Thank you, Adrian. Wow.
I think the cinnamon roll is distracting from the farmer tan. So good. That's good, right? I feel.
Is it good?
I did that for you, Racquel. I did this for you.
Did this for this. No.
Mike, you have the power to mute Racquel, right?
No.
Yeah.
Don't do it.
I try not to.
This is the only human contact any of us have had in months.
We need this.
People say we love.
I'm like cradling my leg.
Okay, next question.
Hayiko with 5 eyes say, tell her we love her farm. So there you go.
Tell them I love them.
But come on.
They can hear you.
The fan response.
This is live, guys.
Yeah, but this is part of the fun. And this is why we love meeting you all in this time. So thank you. But let's just talk about the love for the show. My gosh, what an amazing, groundbreaking series. Obviously, you've touched on Luke, the show creator. Shout out to them. Obviously coming from Avatar, which is, again, one of the most groundbreaking animated series of all time. And then moving in, some of them to Dragon Prince. Not only is it such an homage to the fantasy series of the time, but I think just what they do for equality in terms of representing all different races and lifestyles with, and handicaps and disabilities is such a beautiful thing. And what my favorite part about it, I guess, is that it doesn't feel like it's pushed on you. It feels natural in the world. You know what I mean? And you watch it and everything just feels like this is how life should be. And it's completely regular here in this world. And I think we can all aspire to be something like that. I just want to know what has been the most, this is a question that a lot of people have been asking, but specifically Citizen Erased 14, what has been the most sort of standout moment for you story-wise for each of your characters so far in relation to, just those most powerful, impactful moments that you felt like, oh man, this series is different. You know what I mean? It's really setting the bar for fantasy, the fantasy genre out there.
I mean, I think for me, it was just Gren's, it's not a specific moment, but just Gren's entire relationship with Amaya, and by extension, even more so, just Amaya's character is just so phenomenal. And from getting to meet fans at conventions, I've really gotten to see how much she means to so many people. Yeah. And it's really a credit to the both the writing and the animation as well. And also actually, if I was going to reference a specific moment too with Amaya, at her sister's grave, everybody brings that moment up at conventions as well. That was one of the most powerful scenes I think I've ever seen in a cartoon.
Absolutely. Co-sign that 100%.
Yeah.
Like I remember watching that scene and just like tearing up because it's such an emotional moment. Mm-hmm. And like, I don't sign, but I knew that moment was just a private moment between Amaya and Soren. I just thought it was really, really beautiful.
Yeah.
Well, no one's jumped in on me, so I'm going to keep going.
Yeah.
I think for me, I've had two moments that really like solidified the real beauty, I think, of Soren's character arc throughout the series. One is in season 2 when he gets paralyzed and he has that moment in the hospital where he's just like, I can't hurt anybody anymore. I can't, that was just such an emotional moment. I remember recording it in the booth with Rack and just being like, it's such a beautiful, devastating moment. And later on in the show, spoiler alert for season 3, by the way, just watch the show.
Easily bingeable.
Super bingeable.
Yeah.
In I think it's the second last episode when Soren has his really wonderful speech about, recognizing that Viren is a villain and that he's done some bad things and that he wants to make a stand and like stand up with Rayla and Callum and like the good guys, quote unquote, to make a stand and defend Zim. Like both of those moments really cemented in me that, there's so much going on with Soren that, you look at him in the first couple episodes, he's, kind of a jock bully and, you feel like maybe that's going to be him, but then there's so much more and there's so much deeper to him than just that. And that really sticks with me. I think that's a really beautiful choice. And again, like Adrian said, it speaks to the team at Wonderstorm. It speaks to the team at Bardell. Like it's really, really beautiful work from everybody.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. I'm co-signing everything everyone's saying so far. For myself, it had to be the Breaking the Seal episode in season 2. That episode cracked me in two when I finally saw it. And something that was so interesting about it that I don't really see in animation that often from a writing perspective is, we see Harrow having to sort out his actual worldview. And I've been thinking about this a lot lately, how the whole world that we live in and all of human existence is stories, right? It's stories that we tell each other, from our society to the structures of everything that we live within. And he talks about how most of history has been people understanding the world as this narrative of power. Nation states fighting one another and who can take over, who can kill the most people and maintain power. And then he realizes that, we each live within our own head and our own universe, and you can actually change that narrative and make it a narrative of love. And that moment when he's watching out the window and Ez and Callum are play fighting, and Callum accidentally hurts Ez with his toy sword and then drops his sword and helps his brother out, like that moment just destroys me every time. Every time.
The series is such a great tale of what government can do, right? The governments that rule different people and how leaders can rule. And there was even some comments, and maybe this is a segue to Jason or maybe not, but there's even some comments from fans of like, is Viren really the bad? Like, to some people, Viren isn't the bad guy, right? It's which is great, which is crazy and insane. But that some people can he thinks what he's doing is for the people, albeit for himself and his power and things like that. But it's so interesting to see, all of the characters struggle with that idea of power and doing what's good for what they think is good for the people. And is that actually right for the world, if you will? We're getting deep in here, huh? This is why this series is so good. My gosh. Yeah. Anyone else? Yeah. Anyone else? Any other big moments, impactful moments, the moments that, really stood out to you?
Me, please.
Yeah.
One of the biggest moments for Claudia that I loved seeing and doing was when she, and if this is a spoiler, I'm sorry, but when she revives Soren, or revives him, oops, when she brings him out of being paralyzed. I think that
depression.
Yes. But then what I loved about that was it really shows how far she's willing to go to save her family. And then we obviously see that in a way bigger form at the end of season 3. And that's why I said revived by accident without saying too much. But I think that was probably one of the biggest things as a voice actor doing it, oh God, that's a huge, we should watch this. We should follow. Thank you, Mike.
I like your tags, Racquel. I like your tags.
Yes, thank you. Thank you, Mike.
Yeah.
End communication.
Called manners. Okay.
I'll go. I think it's a really beautiful transition and really a complex journey when she finally shares the history of her parents, because you understand how hard it was for her to break her promise when she went to Katalis to kill the king and the princes, right? Or Ezran. So to her flexibility, even though she seems like such a stubborn, rigid character, she's really flexible when it comes to evolving and understanding the gray area. So I thought that was really beautiful. It's not in one episode, it sort of evolves throughout, but yeah.
And then equally heartbreaking when relieving when she finds out the true story of her parents too. Like at the end, yeah.
Definitely.
Jason, Viren has episodes. Yeah, what's up?
No, go ahead.
No, I was just leading into you.
I just what Luke was talking about, episode 5, Breaking the Seal, and then episode 6, Heart of the Titan. Those were so. When I read those scripts, of course, the actor goes through the scripts and goes, my line, garbage, my line, and there was just so much. There was so much in those scripts because Viren was telling this incredible story that consisted of flashbacks, and there was so much storytelling and so much world building going on in there but we saw Viren at his prime, and I thought this is where he really shines.
Yeah.
Telling this story, weaving this yarn, and he's trying to convince this young queen and all these older, but 3 episodes before that, episode 2, Half Moon Lies, we see the real Viren in front of the mirror trying to get this thing to work, and he ends up tearing his heart out and screaming at the mirror. He's really screaming at himself, and it's this real moment of, like, you never want anyone to see you in that sort of situation. It's a real personal moment. Those were my 2 favorite sort of, they really balanced each other out nicely because we get to see the real Viren. Although we do see the real Viren in his actions as well. And that's, I think, is a lot of people, he's a very polarizing character.
Yeah.
Which I love. And that's why I love playing him, because he's not so, he's not middle of the road, and people either love him or they hate him. And if they hate him, then I think I'm doing my job the right way. But it was just written so well. It was really, really powerful.
He's a scream at the TV character. The like, no, Viren, come on.
Yeah,
you're so evil. Right. Whereas Claudia and Soren, we go back and forth. We're sometimes like, oh, come on. And then you're like, no, you were so close. You were so close.
You're not wrong.
That's right, yeah.
Yeah. Cole, I want to I think the other beautiful thing about the series, and that's why I think it's awesome that you're here, Cole, is not only do we get these main characters, but then these individual characters that have these very small story arcs, like the Crowmaster, like 3 episodes, still have these very beautiful moments of standing up for themselves, standing up for their beliefs. I'd love to hear, maybe not even specifically about Crowmaster, but yeah, I would love to hear a little bit of just even that little mini arc, but had such an impact in that little window there. And that's happened with all the other quote unquote supporting characters that our main characters meet along the journey, which is such an important part of a fantasy series. Love to hear just a little bit about that.
No, I think that's a really good insight. I was sitting here kind of thinking and listening to all the other responses, and everybody touched on so many of the things that make this show, that drive it, that make it such a powerhouse, make it what it is. But I think one of the things that I noticed early on, because it was like a small little part. I showed up. I think I had 2 episodes or something, and I showed up. Recorded it, and I was done with it, whatever. And then the months passed, year passed, whatever, and then it's on the internet. And I think it really speaks to how much of a modern show this is, because it's like it is a product of the internet for the internet. And as soon as I went on Twitter when the show launched, and people were talking about Crowmaster, and I was like, what the hell are they talking about? There's this is a towering fantasy epic. And they're like, I love that this character painted his nails black. I feel seen. I feel like I'm in this show. And people are like talking to me about that, and like, hey, thank you for thanks for that. He seems so relatable or whatever. And it's just like, it's incredibly humbling as a performer whenever you get an opportunity to like reach into somebody's life and say, here's something for you. But when it's something that feels as small as it did at the time, for it to mean something to people is incredibly special. And it's just like, it is next to a paycheck. It's the best part of acting.
Awesome. Yeah. And Luke,
Mike.
Yeah. What's up?
Can I just say this real quick?
100%. Yeah.
Cole Howard is not just a beautiful human being. He is an incredible actor. And he took that role that he's talking about, just so small.
Yeah.
The reason people are connected with that character is because Cole completely elevates it. The humor it's real, it's beautiful, it's believable. He's just such an amazing actor to watch and listen to. So I applaud you, Cole. I love you.
If I can just pop in super, super quick.
Do it.
In regards to Crowmaster, so I was at Wonderstorm when they were coming up with Crowmaster's birthday, and my partner loves Crowmaster. My partner is a huge Crowmaster fan, and when they were coming up with Crowmaster's birthday, I was like, "Hey, how about March 16th?" And they were like, "Oh yeah, that'll do." And I secretly slid that in because she loves Crowmaster and she thinks you're just so good in the role. And that's her birthday.
That's great.
Nice.
Word.
So yeah, like it's such a great role. And it's had such an impact on like everybody. So like,
yeah. No, it's a gift, man. And I mean, on top of that, then there's this whole cast and the crew and the animators, the people at Bardell. Like, this has truly been the most wholesome and wonderful experience I've had as a professional voice actor. It's going to be incredibly hard to top this.
Okay, shut up, Cole. Your time is done. Luke, you're next.
Listen, what about the Baker? The Baker too. My gosh, to get to do the little dual role as another fan favorite, the Baker, who comes back and has that redemption thing. So many awesome, just fantasy characters.
P1A1, baby.
Oh my gosh. But that's a great segue, Cole, talking about the fans, because I think the fans and the internet, that's what's propelled the series. It was, like you said, beautifully, it was made for the internet. It's made for folks there, which is why this is such a perfect time for those who haven't seen it, or if you want to go back and watch it. My gosh, it's all there sitting there on Netflix for you to go back and binge. But this is a specific question from Anna Griffin Art on social media, that just a big shout out and thank you to all of you for being so active on social media, interacting with the fans. If you had to describe your fan love, Anna would like to know, how would you describe the fans of this show and the love from all the fans out there? She wants it in one word, but I'll let you go longer than that. And this can just be whoever. Like just the outpouring of love from the fans on social media.
I'll be really quick. Similar to Cole's experience with Crowmaster, the show came out and I was bombarded with images of Gren superimposed on strawberries and cinnamon rolls. So that was my intro to Dragon Prince fan.
Awesome.
I would say my experience has been incredibly inspiring, incredibly humbling, and deeply chaotic in the best of ways.
Nice. Luke, you said
people
something.
either love Viren or hate him. So I can sit in either of those camps for, I'll go to one and then I'll hang out there and go, yeah, he sucks. And then I'll go to the next and go, yay, he's so cool.
But like you said,
so what you're saying is watch for Jason on the Dragon Prince Discords?
I did say woo, but I was completely joking. I'm going to go with diverse. Like, honestly, when I was younger, like, I never thought in a million years I would see like a black king in a fantasy world, let alone get to play said king in said fantasy world. And like seeing all of these incredibly diverse cosplayers and fans coming out who otherwise don't always have characters that they can even cosplay and feel like they're really represented within themselves, that is by far the coolest thing to see online for me.
Hell yeah.
I really love the creativity. I'm so impressed by fans of this show. They know so much. It keeps me on my toes. I have to really think about the questions they ask. I'm so impressed by the art that they create, the costumes that they make, the animation that I've seen. It's mind-blowing. It's really cool.
Jumping on that, the art that is made, not even just with the characters, but like, I don't know, stupid things we say, mostly me, at conventions or online, and like seeing these artists turn these dumb words into this beautiful thing. That's my favorite. I love the art. That's one word, artistic. There it is. Beautiful, beautiful little fan base. Good art. Keep sending it.
Well, and
speaking of that,
yeah.
Shout out to Hunter, who does incredible Viren and Harrow art nonstop. It just keeps coming and coming and coming, and it's just my favorite stuff. So
also the Mage Fam ponies that Hunter just dropped, those were incredible.
Yeah.
So cute.
It's so cool to be a part of My Little Pony.
Sorry, Mike.
No, that's okay. I was just echoing what you're all saying, and these are some tough times for artists. You know what I mean? Because people aren't seeing their work in convention halls and such. So I was just going to say thank you all for bringing it up, because I think it's super important. Obviously like and share their posts, because that helps a lot. But go to that link, click on that link, and if you can do anything, even if it's like throwing some donation their way or buying a print, that is the one. Yeah. And we're trying our best, Wizard World, in getting that art up there. But there's a lot of independent artists out there, so just do your best if you can. and during this time specifically to support those artists out there. And shout out to all of them that are still working. Shout out to all your, the writers and folks that are trying to, work hard, in their homes to get to the next season, which we're going to get to. I'm saving it the best to last. But let's do a quick roundabout. Quick shout out to the fans that are watching. We've got about 8 minutes left in the panel. You still have 20 to 25 minutes to purchase these live one-on-one video chats. So if you have a very specific question for one specific actor or a group of ones, you can buy one with everyone if you'd like. Definitely take advantage of that. They'll be on sale throughout the end of the panel, and then they'll happen immediately at the top of the hour. So just a quick plug for that. But let's do a quick round robin, and you guys can interrupt and talk for other people, because this is a question from a bunch of people. Kyle Prokop, Stephen J. Hay on Facebook, but then also, Kirtato, I think, on Instagram. And you can answer for each other. You can answer for yourself. Who is the most like their character personality-wise, or who brings most of their character?
Adrian.
Yeah, Adrian. Adrian.
Absolutely, Adrian.
Just a sweetheart little guy. He has some stoicism to him, but he's also fun-loving.
Smells like strawberries all the time.
Tastes like cinnamon bun. Don't ask how we know.
Tastes like cinnamon bun.
Don't get weird. It was a nice thing.
I even can't grow a beard like Gren. I tried for this.
Yeah, Adrian has Gren 1000%.
Yeah.
But also Racquel is.
I was going to say Racquel Claudia, man.
Okay. Racquel is Claudia.
Yeah.
All right. Relax, everybody.
Except like without the dark magic, just the dark sense of humor.
That we are aware of.
Imagine that's like the one thing I was amazing at, and you guys had no idea. I'm over here doing all these potions and spells to like mess with you.
What?
Listen.
All right, we can flip the switch a little bit here for a couple of our other fans. Is there a character that you would be most interested in playing besides your own character out there? And it doesn't have to be people in the room right now. It can just be characters in the series, but a character that you are drawn to the most within the Dragon Prince.
I always say the same thing. Like, if I could do a deep voice, I'd be Viren, but I can't.
I couldn't even hope to match Eric's delivery of Erebos, but he has so much fun playing Erebos.
Yeah.
Like, shout out to Eric, because he's brilliant at it. But what a dream that must be in the booth for him to just, just ham it up the entire way.
I just want to play. I just want an opportunity to play an elf, so I can have like a Scottish accent or something. Do that in the show. That would be great. That would be fun.
Love it.
That was my audition.
Nice.
Okay.
Good job.
I'll let you know if any casting names are watching on Twitch right now.
That's basically what happened in the episode where we did the I bound myself. Everyone started out Scottish
Valor.
Well, actually, if you want to, I've been given permission to drop a little announcement here during our panel. If you want to hear me voice every character, the novelization, the Dragon Prince novelization is coming out, book 1, Moon, and I am narrating the audiobook. So you heard it here first. It'll be June. I think it drops on June 2nd. So if you have Audible or anywhere where there's audiobooks, you'll hear me doing a horrible Scottish accent.
Adrian,
I'm so excited.
You set yourself up, and I would be a poor moderator if I didn't force you to at least do a little bit right now.
Oh, no, I bound myself. I don't know. I was so nervous. I was shaking the night before. I was just staring in the mirror like, my heart for Zadia. No, damn it. My heart for Zadia. It was bad.
Paula, was that you? I couldn't tell.
He actually voiced Rayla.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah,
I'm
you heard it
beard
here first.
because he doesn't have one.
Adrian, who is your favorite? Who is your favorite? Obviously, it's a reading, so you're doing like variations on it. You're not doing exact impressions.
Of course, yeah.
Who is your favorite character to do in the whole series?
A Viren, because that would have been my answer otherwise if there was a character I wanted to play. So getting to play Viren in my own sort of way was really fun.
Oh my gosh, so cool! And when does that come out again? Sorry,
I think the audiobook, the book drops June 2nd, I think, and I'm assuming the audiobook drops the same day. But double check. I'm sure the date's on Audible or something.
So it's Adrian doing Gren doing Viren.
It's Gren reading the entire story. Yeah.
You know the artists out there. You know the artists out there are doing some like some variations on this right now. So
yes,
Gren just signs the whole audiobook. It's like, well, I
love the concept of it being Gren just telling the story of what happened in season 1 of
He's
Dragon
in the
Prince.
dungeon. He's in the dungeon telling the story.
Runan, I have something important to tell you about.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. What if he got some, like some sort of thing happened with the mirror and where he's getting the story fed to him and he's just constantly telling the tale the whole time. Oh my gosh. So cool.
That'd be cool.
Let's talk about other upcoming things that we may know or may not know. I said in the beginning of this panel, we are excited for season 4, and there hasn't been an official announcement, but everyone went crazy and they're like, what are you talking about, Mike? What do you know that we don't know? But clearly, whether we know an announced date or not, we're in a tough time where folks are in their homes and not able to work on it. But there's a ton of questions out there. The Dragonwed one wants to know more about a flashback for Rayla. Will we get that? Lily Lou 5 wants to know, will King Howard return in more flashbacks? Ender DP, and I'm just trying to get as many fans as possible, wants to know a little bit more about Callum's dad backstory. Johnny Garcia and Christina Crispin are just asking about future guest stars and future characters. So what I'd love to end on here, because we're out of time, is just your all's thoughts on if there's anything that you potentially know, not spoilers, but things that you hope continue on in the storyline, or things that you might wish or want, not only for your character but just for the series heading into what, fingers crossed, we hope is a season 4.
Well,
I think
there's.
Please.
I was just going to say, it's already been announced that there's a book, or there's a graphic novel that comes between season 3 and season 4.
That's right.
So I would say that's a pretty good place to mine for some hints.
Yeah. Aaron said yesterday on Twitter, someone asked him, is season 4 coming? And he said, no news yet. So we are safe in saying the same thing. I mean,
sure.
Once we hear the big news, we can then share it. Otherwise, no, nothing.
And once we do, we won't shut up about it. Really. You follow us all on Twitter. You know this.
I have a hope and a dream for season 4, if we get one.
Yeah.
I really do hope, one of my biggest hopes, I really hope Claudia and Soren.
Well, that's a ship. That's a ship.
There we go.
Whoa. Machi. I do hope Claudia and Soren reunite at some point. A wish. Let's say Claudia gets a love interest down the line. I just really hope they're either voiced by Harry Styles, Timothée Chalamet, or Cole Sprouse. Those are my 3.
You know Timothée Chalamet's middle name is Hal?
Yes, of course. Thank you for bringing it up. I have no one to talk about this
from Malcolm
with.
in the Middle, Hal?
Wait,
it's
so
such
his
a
initials
wonderful
are
name, and then Hal just...
Yeah, CHC. Oh, I didn't pick that up.
Who disappeared?
Jason. He was like, I'm out.
He's like, I can't talk about Timothée anymore.
That was the spoiler. Those were the spoiler, God. Netflix came in and was like, Jason's going to say something too.
To piggyback on what Rack's saying, my big wish for, season 4 and beyond is I would love to see Soren and Claudia's mom.
Oh, yes. Oh, I want to see their mom so bad.
I want to see their mom. I want to see what they're like. I want to I just want to see.
If there's a way to meld voices together, you and I, Jesse, should play the mom. Like if they can get my feminine undertones and then you're like, ooh, then we can really make this happen.
That is what I sound like.
That's it.
You know what else would be a cool thing to get to know is about all the people in the coins.
Yeah.
Yes. I guess. Yeah.
I want to know help, get them out. Like, what's going to happen?
But what about the transit infrastructure of Catullus?
Right. We need to know about the bus system first.
Yeah.
I'm curious about the sewer systems.
All workers played by Harry Styles, Timothée Chalamet, or Cole Sprouse.
Any other hopes or dreams?
What if it was all 3 of them, Rack?
Except that they would always need to be in studio at a different time than you.
Yeah.
No,
Yes.
no. I mean, legally, I won't be allowed to be in the studio with all three of them, but we can try.
50 meters.
What if
at
it's
least.
like one word then another word, like that improv game where it's like Harry Styles going like, hello.
One word at a time.
Good to meet you. And it's just all three of them recording in sync.
This is beautiful for me. I can die happy if that happened.
What a dream. What a
Yeah.
dream.
I'm going to dream about that later.
Oh, I think I just read that Harry Styles just tweeted out that he got a one-on-one with you in the next hour. So,
Oh my god.
Guys, I got to go. I got to get ready.
Oh, but
Okay, so
Timothée
sorry.
Chalamet got one with me? All right.
I'm coming over. Screw quarantine. I'm there. No, quarantine's important.
Yeah, quarantine is very important, guys.
Quarantine is important.
I'm
Quarantine.
talking
I live
so much.
together.
I'm sorry.
A lot of
Jason's
life-
gone. We lost Jason.
He was like, "That's enough." Like,
Yeah.
we've done.
I'm tired
Yeah.
of this.
He doesn't like
Let's
when I
do-
talk about boys. Every time. Every time.
Any other final sentiments? Let's do. We've got to wrap things up, y'all. This has been such a treat, and such a pleasure. And what a great series. And if you haven't seen it, where have you been? Go get on Netflix right now. You've got the time. Binge all 3 seasons and get ready. But I'd love just for all of you to go around one more time and just give a quick shout out. Tons of fans watching from around the world. It's had such a worldly reach. It's the social media frenzy has been insane. And again, such a beautiful series that is really setting the bar for equality and inclusivity. Yeah, there it is. And so again, just one more shout out from you all to the fans. And I think we'll get Jason back. Maybe Jason will wrap it for us. But yeah, let's final sentiments.
I'll jump in really fast because final sentiments is I'm looking at this distinguished panel of people, and they're a collection of my favorite like voiceover and just regular people from Vancouver, which is an incredible place to live, and we're really lucky. I'm looking outside; it's a slice of paradise. And it's also just populated with some of the finest professionals that I've ever had the privilege of working with. And with that in mind, I am raising money for Covenant House Vancouver. So anything I'm doing with autographs or one-on-ones or anything, I'm donating all of that to a youth shelter in Vancouver that's helping with COVID stuff. Because, I got a roof over my head and a bed to sleep in. And, I got a mom I can call if and I have called her a lot and cried and then told her that I needed money. So I'm fine. So it's better to help other people who aren't. So anyways, that's what I'm all about. But man, is it good seeing all of you people. And thank you very much for tuning in and watching us talk to each other. I appreciate it. All right.
Awesome.
You know what I mean?
And Cole, I think somebody threw up.
Somebody threw up.
No. Somebody threw in the link for your charity in the chat there. So I think it's up there. Cool.
Nice.
So great.
Jason just texted me. He's trying to get back in, y'all. His network bandwidth is low, and he's trying to get back in to say goodbye to
He's
everyone.
back in.
There.
He's there.
He's right there.
Oh, there he is. Weird setup here. Sorry. There he is.
Guys, Jason just texted me. He says he's done with this. He's taking off. So.
Rack started talking about Timothée Chalamet and everything fell apart.
That was it. Speaking of Timothée Chalamet, no.
No.
My final words, and then everyone else can speak. I'm not going to take any more time as I have been. I love you all. I love everybody in this group that I'm seeing on my screen. I'd love to take a photo at some point, but I love you all very much. I love all the fans. I love everybody involved. I think this is a very, very beautiful thing that we're a part of, and that you're a part of. Fans. I'm talking to fans, not you guys. Get out of here.
Yeah, I'll second that and just say this is just such a beautiful community to have the honor to be a part of, and sometimes we can get just us as people, as a society generation, we can get kind of jaded about the internet and Twitter and blah 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 and social media and that. And sure, it has its negatives, but especially during this last 2 months or whatever it's been now of this craziness, it's been amazing to feel so connected to people and really feel a part of a genuine community, and I think now we kind of know that you can be a real, genuine community without having to be in the same town or in the same room, you know? So love to you guys, and everybody stay safe. And yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, I just want to say thank you so much for all the love. This has been so far, it's been one of the most amazing experiences of my life with my colleagues, castmates, and everyone involved in the show, but also with fans. And we've been so lucky to go to quite a few conventions over the last year and a half and meet so many of you. And I love that throughout the pandemic, we have this way of continuing to express our love for the Dragon Prince, because it's been such a big part of my life.
Thank you, Paula. Paula, I hate it was such a nice sentiment. I hate to do this to you, but the fans will not let it down if I don't. They're saying right now is Rayla voice, please. Rayla voice, Rayla voice, Rayla voice, Rayla voice. One little shout to the fans out there.
Oh gosh, snow whale. Okay, you were looking for another word to describe me, right? Well, I consider myself quite daring. No, nothing. Not even a giggle.
Well, this was my first convention yet with all the Dragon people and the Dragon Prince. And it's been incredible. And it's great to see all these amazing faces of people I love that I haven't seen in a long time. And all of the amazing... Paula, was it you that coined Dragon people? Was that you?
It was a Twitter thing. I'm not going to take credit.
Thing, right? Okay. Well, I'm giving you at least partial credit. That's my new favorite term. I love all you Dragon people out there, and all the love that you've shown for the show. It's been, honestly, in my career thus far, voice acting, it's been the best job yet. And I hope there's lots more to come. And I hope we flush out this world more. And I hope everyone's there and along for the ride. Love you all.
Yeah, just to jump on what everyone said, like, this has been one of the most incredible experiences of my entire professional life. It's so inspiring and so wonderful to get to interact with you guys and to get to work with this incredible panel of humans that you're all watching right now, who, you know, I've been very fortunate to get to know and to get to work with and to get to travel with in some cases, and hopefully in future for other cases. And yeah, like I'm so thankful and I'm so grateful to be a part of something that is so special to so many people, myself included. So, you know, stay safe out there. We're going to get through this, but thank you for being here.
If I may, I started dropping out as soon as Adrian said, "Hey, I have some news I can share," and then I lost everything after that. I didn't hear a single word anyone said. I got booted.
It was Netflix.
You didn't
Jason.
miss much.
Yeah.
So I just want to say, yes, this has been it's an incredible experience. It's an incredible show. I'm so blessed. Hashtag. It's a real honor to play a character like that, that's written like that on a show that's so beautifully written, that serves and speaks to so many people out there who feel not spoken to, who feel marginalized, who feel they need something to look up to. And even a character like Viren, I have people who say that character gives them hope. And, you know, I'm not sure what that means, but given the character. But just these people that I get to work with, and the fact that I get to talk with people who live across the world, right? So, you know, artists who dress up like my character, who spend the time and money. Lucius and Merrick, you guys are incredible. They're in Germany. I never would meet these people, never would have met these people before. And they're just incredible. They love the show so much. And we get to share in their creativity online. That's one of the beautiful things about social media. So we're in a great time where we can do that. I never had an opportunity to talk to any of my voiceover heroes, cartoon heroes growing up. I would have been an absolute nuisance and terror online if I did have that outlet. But hopefully we can keep using it for good, as cheesy as that sounds. But there's so much positivity to be gained and to use it for. So I'm very thankful for these people and all the people out there who love our show and show the show's support and try to keep that positive and furthering that. thank you, Mike, as well.
Yeah, thank you all
Yes,
so much.
thank you.
Thank you very much, Mike.
Thanks, Mike.
I know I can speak for all the fans when I say that we all say thank you for connecting with us on social media. There's a lot of actors and artists out there that choose not to, but I think it's an important part, like you said, Jason, in terms of the connectivity of the show and the messages the show is trying to get out to, that you all participate in that and that you're all here. So again, on behalf of the fans, thank you all for your beautiful voice work, your beautiful acting, and your beautiful connection with all of us as fans on the internet. And you heard it here first, official announcement. Cole Sprouse and Harry Styles will be in the voice cast of season 4 of The Dragon. Spoiler alert. Let's give a big virtual round of applause. Let me see those applause emojis, the likes, the hearts. You can pitch on Twitch to this amazing cast. One more time for Paula Burrows, Jason Simpson, Jesse Inocalla, Racquel Belmonte, Luc Roderique, Adrian Petriw, and Cole Howard, everybody.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you all.
Oh, my headphones fell off. That's how hard I dabbed.
Hey, this is Alex Malari Jr., and you are watching Fandom Spotlight. Be sure to hit that like button, share, and subscribe. Your Emperor commands it. Thanks for watching.